Hello everyone, and welcome back once again to Garry's Mod. And today I'm going to be taking a little bit of a break from VR exploring, because just the other day I did a whole lot of real exploring, and the good news is that you're going to get some videos on that. The bad news is my entire body is so sore, and I just want to rest and not really stand up. There is other good news, though, and that's that I'm going to be using this opportunity to play some of the maps that you guys requested that aren't compatible with VR. The first of which are going to be GM Hyde and its sequel, GM Hyde Assembly. Now, these maps claim to be very challenging. They recommend 2 or more players on the workshop page, but I haven't actually read about why. As usual, I'm going in totally blind. Rules: no clip disabled, God mode enabled, which is quite curious because it says that it's really challenging. Brightness fair, no cleaning up the map, unless you run out of lives. So I suppose this map is actually going to have some of its own gameplay mechanics. Tips: locate the mansion's interior. Ghost detector equipment will be provided. Am I gonna get the Wee-Woo box? I hope I'm going to get the Wee-Woo box. 1. Inside the mansion, locate the key downstairs to unlock the power. 2. Locate the pool key. A water leakage will occur. Your ghost detector may obtain damage. No, I can't lose the Wee-Woo box again. The cellar unlocks at nighttime. It is your final destination. Use the ghost detector at all times. It provides light and accuracy. If the Juggernaut is summoned, hide. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we refer to as a title drop. A concept developed by Zephyrcraft. Oh, it's actually doing it. Inspired by Ma Tomato and Doctor Who. What is that noise? It sounds like a plane's engine. June 22nd, 2018. The Underground Macion investigation. I should have a gate key in my mailbox. Now, this is a really strange thing. This is like the kind of thing you see around, like, the house of a hermit who has something to hide. Just cinder block walls surrounding a small cabin. I'm intrigued already. Come on. Come on. Open up. Thank you. Was that the first puzzle of the game? Yeah, I can see how something like this would probably be very frustrating in VR. Holding things does not really work that well. And in we go. Now I'm wondering if I'm supposed to search... Stop it, phone. You have to wait until halfway through the video to jump scare me. The tension hasn't been properly built yet. I can see something inside. Oh, I have no flashlight. Do I have any weapons? No. I don't know why I'm already in puzzle mode. Something about being able to go behind a house just does put me into puzzle mode, even though I haven't actually tried the door yet. Alright, let's use the door like a weirdo. And it opens on the first try. There's an elevator right there. I just got jump scared by the door closing and pushing me to the side. Now, I really don't like not being able to see. There's something really unnerving about being in this room, a room which I know isn't that big. It's not like an endless darkness like some of the areas in the prison in GM Paranormal. I can clearly see the edges, but I can't see what's between me and the edges, and there's something really creepy about that. Okay, I suppose we're taking the elevator down, and there's a tag over the button that says, Begin Exploration. Now, I'm no electrician, but this doesn't look like something I should be touching. Oh, that's a good sign. It's always a good sign when the lights in the elevator are flickering. That's a sign of a stable engineering setup. Wow, we're going really far down. This isn't just going down to, like, a basement. Is this Resident Evil? Am I going down to the nest? Or I think it was called the Hive in the movie? I think the first Resident Evil was, like, my first zombie movie. I was way too young to see it. scared the absolute crap out of me. Uh-oh. Now these... Can I do anything with these buttons? No, the lights seem to indicate how far down we're going, but that's a lot of floors, considering how far down we went before it was even 3 lights down. But that just goes to show just how deep we are. Can I... Okay, I wasn't able to move for a second. I thought something had glitched out. Is that... It's the Wee-Woo box! Oh, but not just any Wee-Woo box. This is some kind of custom homebrew Wee-Woo box. It's got a light on the top, and it seems to have some kind of screen on the back as well. Oh, that's cool. This is going to be a whole new thing. It's also wearing a name tag. That's kind of interesting. Oh, I like this Wee-Woo box. But actually, can I even call it the Wee-Woo box? Because I don't even know if it's going to Wee-Woo yet. It's just not the same. Okay, is there somewhere I can go to turn on a light? Because I can't see anything and I don't have a flashlight. Okay, that provides some light, but not nearly enough. Ghost detector repair. Okay, so I can put this in here and... No! Have I screwed up already? Push button? Push button? What do I do? Something's happening. Did I do something wrong? Or right? There's certainly some weird noises happening. Oh, that is creepy. The door's slowly opening and I can see walls, but I can't actually make out a shape of which way they're going. There's something really strange about that, of just barely illuminating those walls so that I can see their distance but can't make out a shape. I think it's sloping down, but to my eye that could also be turning to the left. I really would like that Wee-Woo box back, if you don't mind. I might have to... Wow, I botched this already. I think I already have to restart. Unless I can find some kind of button. What was that? What is that? Was that here before? Yeah, guys, I restarted the map because I already managed to lose the Wee-Woo box. And as I step out of the elevator, I see this thing that wasn't here before. Hang on, where's the Wee-Woo box? Okay, I got you back. Do you react to that at all? Oh, I can't see anything. It is so dark. And it's... Yeah, it's still there. Okay, now I'm really confused. I don't think that was there before. There's no way I wouldn't have noticed it, because I stuck around for a little while trying to get the Wee-Woo box back. I think I have to push this to start the power. I think that's what I did before. Yeah, what is that? It looks like... It looks like the thing from the Construct Beta 13. The Gordon Freeman model that was there. I can't tell if the Wee-Woo box is... Yeah, I don't know if the Wee-Woo box is reacting to it or not. It casts a shadow. That is so weird. You know what? I remember some of you guys telling me that Construct Beta 13 does a weird thing where you can actually start to see this model in other maps. I wonder, this might not actually be part of GM Hyde. If it is, it's a very strange choice. But the ghost detector doesn't seem to be reacting to it. I can walk through it, so... Yeah, that is really weird. Okay, now, I didn't get a chance to look at it before, because I immediately yeeted the Wee-Woo box. But in here, there's a whole bunch of... Oh! You know what? This might function similarly to the monitor room in GM... You're doing a different color. Why are you doing a different color? Hi. Huh, I'm in selfie mode. Yeah, so I think this might function similarly to the observation room in GM Paranormal. Because in that, there was kind of an observation area where people could stop and look at cameras and stuff. That was where you spawned. And this screen up here seems to be showing the screen on the Wee-Woo box. Now, as for all these lights, I'm assuming this is a map of, well, the map, and those lights probably represent something. As for what these lights on the wall and on the table represent, I honestly have no idea. Now, because this is a physics object, I'm going to have to make sure that it's oriented to me at all times. Now, I can see over here, and I can't help but notice that that model is gone. But over here, if I highlight these lights, it says lives, so presumably one of those lights will go out each time I die. It said God mode enabled, so I'm not sure what exactly would kill me. Ah, the Wee-Woo box does Wee-Woo. But what is it trying to tell me? Oh, I see, the doors are closing. Alright, I gotta get through. Now, looking through the screen on the ghost detector, I can see that not only does the detector itself cast a little bit of light forward, but the shadows don't seem to be fully rendering on the ghost detector's screen. So in that way, it's actually forcing me... I love nonsensical windows like this. In that way, it's actually forcing me to kind of look through the screen and sort of naturally lower my FOV in a way that's actually being handled through gameplay. Because I can't really see with my eyes. It's too dark for that. What? What's happening? I don't like the deadly drumbeats of doom. Now this is really unique because you come down here and it's got a carpeted floor, it's got wooden walls and fairly low ceilings. I could actually see this as a very comfortable environment. There's windows on the walls that also give the feel... If I had woken up here from a deep sleep, I would think I was at a cozy little cabin in the woods, but what's happening? The Wee-Woo box is wee-wooing, but I still don't know what these things mean. I imagine none of my knowledge from GM Paranormal is valid here. This is probably something that works in a completely different way. But, what? Oh, hi. That's a little... You must wait for nighttime. Oh, right, they said that the cellar would drain at nighttime. But the question is this map on some kind of day-night cycle, or is that something that I have to activate? Is that something that's going to be tied to my progression? Okay, I gotta sit here and think about what I'm supposed to be doing. I have to remember that this isn't an exploration map. I have actual objectives that I'm supposed to be accomplishing. But to finish my thought, if I had woken up down here, I would think this was a comfy, cozy cabin. I would think it's nighttime outside. But it becomes unnerving with the pre-existing knowledge that I came down a long elevator and then another staircase to get here. This is very deep underground. Now, I'm still not entirely sure what the light on the left means, but the light on the middle seems to indicate that something is very, very close to me. So I have to be very careful and make sure that even when I'm putting it down... Come on. Come on! Get out, thank you. Oh my god, I would be so annoyed if I had to restart again due to losing the Wee-Woo box again. When I played GM Paranormal, I at least had the decency to myself to wait until the end to lose the Wee-Woo box. Now I'm of two minds when it comes to ambient soundscapes. On the one hand, a properly done ambient soundscape can increase the sense of dread quite nicely. But then again, total silence can do the same thing, and I'm not sure which I like better. That's new. That heartbeat is new. Does that indicate the arrival of something? Does that herald the coming of some dreaded PNG ghost? Because that first scare was actually quite underwhelming, to be totally honest. Ghost detector repair. I bet if I had dropped it... I bet if I had come back here after the first time, it would be there. Oh yeah, just the... This is just the skull cubby. I can't help but notice that all the lights on the Wee Woo box have gone out, except for the one on the right. I wish I knew what they meant. What am I looking for? That clearly indicates that something's close, but then it just disappears. And it's the same experience that I had with Hyde Assembly, where I just don't know what any of the little lights do, and it's a completely different Wee Woo box, so I still don't know what they do, even after my previous experience. Okay. Now, I probably would have been able to retrieve the Wee Woo box from right here had I come back earlier. What's happening? And now it's playing lightning and thunder, but once again, that doesn't make any sense because this is all underground. These doors won't open. I probably have to find a key. Now, that may seem kind of lame, doing lightning sound effects when there's no way for that to even be possible. But look at it this way. And I'll even point out this, because this is a nice part of it. These are glass doors that look like they would be heading out onto like a back patio or something. Now, of course, we know that's not what this is. This is underground. But features like this, windows and doors that seem to go outside when that's impossible, I feel like it requires a second thought to really get it. So, for example, there's that lightning, and if you weren't paying attention, you might just think, oh, that's just, you know, that's just typical spooky environmental enhancement. You'd have to think about it a moment to think to yourself, what is actually the source of that light? Ghost detector repair, here's another one, but here there's no hole in the wall. So I'm not sure exactly how that would work. Alright, I really gotta I gotta stop commentating and start looking around. I need to figure out what's actually going on here. Now it said I should be looking for keys. And we've already come upon at least one locked door that we couldn't access. The problem with trying to manage the Wee Woo box is that it tends to tilt itself upward, which makes it kind of difficult to look through the screen. Although I suppose it does have to be angled upward a little bit to be able to accurately see down the hall what's happening. Now, just like in GM Paranormal, it does kind of keep me on my toes, where most of the time these little beeps and boops of the Wee Woo box... Whoa! Did I lose a life? Oh, that scared the absolute crap out of me. I was expecting another PNG. But... oh, there's nothing down this way. The hallway just ends. But it doesn't just end, it's like an impenetrable shadow. Oh, that's a really neat effect. Even the screen of the Wee Woo box can't see past that shadow. And that thing just came rushing out of it. Now, I don't know if this is intentional. We'll have to find out from the rest of the scares that are going to happen. But the very first scare that we encountered... I think we've already been here. Okay, I could only open it from... No, we haven't been here before. No, we have? Oh, I am so confused. No, this is where I came in from. And up here is the stairs to that door, which we can't open, so we are truly sealed down here. So, okay, so out there was a key. That key, presumably... opens either this door or that other one we came across before. But, oh, what was it? What was it? Oh, okay, there's the PNG again. Now that PNG was the first, if I could ever get a thought out, that PNG was the first scare that we encountered. So if that's intentional, that's actually kind of genius, because the first scare of a map really tends to set the mood. So if the first thing we see is that kind of lame PNG, then the next thing's gonna really get us if it's actually scary. And that's exactly what happened. I wasn't really as on edge after the first scare, and then that second one really got me hard. There's a lever on the wall. I'm going to be comparing this map to GM Paranormal quite a lot, because there does seem to be a lot of overlap in the design choices. Now, I don't know what came first, but I'm pretty sure both of these are inspired by GM Ghost Hunt. I haven't played any of those maps yet. I think there's 3 Ghost Hunt maps, and they both seem to be derivative of those. But it's kind of strange, because I'm playing the knockoffs first. Ah, that opened up the dark hallway. I wonder if there's going to be more places like that where I'm not trying to open locked doors, but just pushing against the darkness itself. Now the wee-woo box is wee-wooing, but... Okay, this opens out onto here. And this door won't open all the way, only partially because it's blocked by that skull. And these aren't physics props, so I can't move them. Now what I would like to know, since I was so very close to that ghost that ran out of the dark, is did that cost me a life? Oh, this is a very cool environment. What? I think that scare was entirely sound. But it's so hard for me to see that screen that it's almost useless to me. I almost, even though it can see the most, I don't really feel like I can rely on it. Once again reminding you that we are underground. And now we've been put into total pitch blackness. What's happening? I'm like scared to progress because I can't see anything. It's like the Weeble box's light just doesn't do anything when the lights go out. And don't think I haven't noticed that these candles do dim on occasion as well, so even in areas lit by candle, you're not safe. Okay, now we have 2 doors. I'm gonna open both and see what they do for me. I just heard something, like a click of a latch somewhere inside this room. There's sparks coming out of the Weeble box. What's happening? Is that Weeble box damage? Is that what I'm experiencing? If so, that's going to be a real well of a problem because I can't see anything. I can't even tell if this door is open or not. That's how dark it is. It's really strange because it's like the sources of the light retain their illumination, but they don't continue illuminating the room. Which is very, very odd, and I gotta be honest, I talked a little bit about this in... what was the map I played? It was Urban Exploration Gone Wrong, as well as Forgotten Asylum. I do really appreciate maps that aren't afraid to go completely dark. But that only really works well... Are these going to be props that I can pick up? That only really works well when I have a flashlight. If you're just going to plunge me into total darkness, all I'm doing, instead of like actually playing the game, is just squinting at my screen, and that to me is not enjoyable. That's just annoying. So far I'm very hot and cold on whether I like this map or not. Because on the one hand, I do inherently like the Weeble box mechanics. They're a very good way to create anxiety. But at the same time, I feel like I'm just kind of struggling against the presentation in a lot of ways. Like, for example, I can't really see a lot of the time. And I know that's partly intentional, but in some ways, stop. In some ways, it's more frustrating than anything. Now, it seems like this area has flooded. This area has started to flood, which means I can't take the Weeble box to a licensed Weeble box repair center. So what do I do? Those skulls were not there on the stairs before. These skulls were not here before. Don't think I wasn't paying attention. But what else can I do? There's nothing new in the bunk bedroom, which means there's got to be something over here, right? Now, I can't tell if the Weeble box is providing some ambient light to the area around me, but it's certainly not acting as a flashlight anymore. If I head back down, will the waters have receded? I think that might be something that's on a timer. Those skulls just came out of nowhere. You know what? I think it probably wants me to wade into the waters. I think it wants me to wade into the waters, which is going to be really annoying because I can't carry the Weeble box. I can't carry the Weeble box and the key at the same time. See, that's one of the problems with having props that you actually have to hold in your hands, as opposed to an item that you hold as a weapon, is that you just can't... It really hampers things in a lot of ways because you can't hold two items at once. And in this case, one of those items is a light that I need to see. Now, this wasn't so bad in GM Paranormal because I could actually use my flashlight, so I could put the Weeble box down if need be. Here, I don't even have that option. I talked about this in the Ash Threshold video, where frustration can outweigh scares. And I feel like that's what's happening right now, is my frustration is being outweighed by the scares, just because... Now, this may not be the same for you, but I get really, really bothered when I'm struggling to see. Yeah, you're laughing at me because I broke another Weeble box. Send that up. And now wait 6 to 10 days for repair. And we should have a good as new Weeble box, right? No, now we have no Weeble box. I am very, very confused as to how this map is supposed to work. What happened to the key? I know I dropped it somewhere over here. There we go. I'm just gonna go ahead and plug this into the set of double doors down this way, the glass doors. Now, what is that? What is that? This thing just came floating out of that room. What just happened? What's happening? What's happening? And where's my key? What happened to the key? Hi. What is all this? I'm not scared by this. I'm more confused than anything. I have very early crossed the Ash Threshold with this map. Okay, now I have a flashlight. But I can't see 2 feet in front of me. Okie doke. Yep. I believe that sound is from Slender Man: The 8 Pages. Just, hi. Just walking around looking for my Weeble box, because I can't get that key back, seemingly. So that's real annoying. Well, I'm glad I've been granted a flashlight, at least. Yep, it's about the 4th time I've heard that sound. Can I get my Weeble box back, please? It's really trying to enforce to me that this is scary. And I'm just... Hi. Now, am I losing lives when that happens? I don't even know. These stacked skulls that it's putting everywhere. This map seems to have a lot more faith in those as a concept than I do. Yes, yeah, the key is probably underwater somewhere, which means I'm never going to be able to find... Actually, I can crouch down and see. So it's not doing those red effects anymore, which means I think that part is mercifully over. Hi. Okay, so is that supposed to be like some kind of ghost fish that's floating around? And more importantly, am I losing lives when it touches me? Okay. Can I please have the key? Thank you. And more importantly, after that, I'm going to have to find... Thank you. After this, I'm going to have to find the Weeboo box again, because I feel like I can't really function without it. Push. See, I don't even know what this is, because there's no hole here for me to use it. Hi. Are you like some kind of ghost fish custom model? Because you don't really look like anything. In fact, I thought you were just a prop floating out of a room. See that little fin on top? I think it's actually supposed to be like some kind of weird shark. Hi, did I touch it? Does that count as me touching it or something? Can I come back up here and collect my ghost detector, please? Okay, I actually can. Thank you. Once again, reunited with the Weeboo box. I'm actually getting some really, really poor frame rates right now. Now, I believe it mentioned that if it touches these floodwaters... Hi? Hi. Hello? I believe it mentioned that if it touches these floodwaters, that the Weeboo box will become damaged. Is that true? Seems so. If that's the case, like, what am I even using the Weeboo box for? Because I can't pick up a key without putting it down. This map is really trying to... See, every time it does this, every time it teleports me, I drop whatever I'm holding, which means that whatever I was holding goes underwater. Which just seems to be a way to pointlessly extend the length of this map. Yep, we got a big open room. Oh, this is the pool. Which means that I can misstep and drop down into the water. Now that's kind of... The flooding is kind of neat mechanically. I will say that. But with the way it's being handled, with this enemy that teleports me, and the fact that if I drop this thing, if I drop my Weeboo box in the water, it breaks, so I have to go back, and it just becomes a back and forth dance that just seems to be a way to pointlessly pad out the runtime rather than actually present me with any kind of challenge or scares. Is there a key or something I can look for? Also, I don't understand why it just arbitrarily gave me a flashlight. I'm actually not sure if that's a bug or not. There doesn't seem to be anything in here that I can actually use. Oh, there's like bathroom stalls. Flushing the toilet causes the water to go down. That is actually quite funny, I must say. Now, that actually kind of... Yep, there you go. Get back down in your hole. You can't get me down there anymore. That actually brings up something that's kind of interesting to me mechanically. Now, it does recommend playing with at least 2 players. I wonder if the floodwaters will periodically rise and someone else can hold the Weeboo box while another player goes and flushes the toilets to get rid of the water. If so, that is actually kind of an interesting mechanic, but it doesn't really work that well in single player, where I'm the one that actually has to personally both hold the wee woo box and go flush the ghost water. Now the question is, what else is there for me to do? You know what? I bet I have to go back to the starting area and jump down where that grate was. I also don't like how it's artificially slowing me down right now. Hello? I cannot move my view. I am effectively watching a cutscene. Hi. Man, see, this map has rubbed me the wrong way to such an extent that, like... To such an extent that even the jump scares aren't really landing. And it sucks because I was so prepared to be really scared by this. It did have that one good jump scare, even after it showed me that first PNG, and... You know, I have to say, aesthetically, the map does look really nice. But mechanically, I feel like it's relying too much on, like, heavy scripting and just the enforcement that you find this scary, you know? Like, having the effects all over my screen so I can't see anything, or having, like, a PNG show up accompanied by a loud noise. Look at the scary face. The environment changed while you were away. You were so scared by this. Look at all the skulls and blood and horror death scares killing. It's just... A little bit of subtlety would go a long way, and a little bit more faith in the player to engage with the mechanics. If that makes any sense. Like, so, GM Paranormal... A lot of the gameplay scares were not very good. Like, most of it was just, you know, the burned corpse that would fly around the center of the hallways. But, you know, at least it was gameplay. It was something that was there to keep me on my toes. And the scripted scares that were in the map made up for it. So that it was still quite scary. And the wee woo box actually integrated with the map in a very satisfying way. Hi, guys. I'm getting mugged by the Bone Brigade once again. I'm gonna have to go to the future and fight Skeletrex. He's huge. He's 15 feet tall, and his bones the size of tree trunks. You ran out of lives. Game over. Okay. I don't even know what was happening most of the time. So does that mean I have to restart? Alright, everyone. I was going to leave it right there. However, it's actually really bothering me that I didn't finish it. As of right now, it's only a few hours before this episode goes live, but I feel like I'm not really doing the map justice unless I finish it. So I'm going to try and finish it so you can see the whole thing. Congratulations, you successfully investigated the mansion. And and that appears to be some kind of, like, Digimon asset or something. At the end of the map, So that was GM Hyde, and that was honestly not great. I think its two biggest sins are, number one, that it's not scary. I think the only scare that actually landed for me was the shadowy figure that ran out of the darkness at me. That got me. But other than that, the only thing that really got to me was the ambience before anything had happened. Because I was so tense and unsure of what to expect, and it was just drowning me in this darkness. Which means that this map was in a good place to actually really get me, but in the end it just kind of squandered all of it. The problem with its scares is that it relies almost entirely on just locking your UI and distorting your view and splashing in images on the screen and playing a loud noise. And that's not scary, that's just annoying. That's like the Five Nights at Freddy's or Slender the Eight Pages style of scare. It just doesn't work for me. You know, just periodically deciding to randomly startle me, that's not scary to me, and after a while, it's not even startling. Number two is gameplay, and because the Weeaboo Box is pretty much the only thing mechanically it has going for it, I'm gonna have to compare it once again to GM Paranormal. So, on GM Paranormal, even though the patrolling enemies weren't really scary, it would still startle me and get my adrenaline pumping whenever the Weeaboo Box would start going off and I'd know I only had like half a second to dodge to the side of a hallway. And for that reason, I came to really be dependent on the Weeaboo Box. I would feel the need to have the Weeaboo Box with me at all times. And that wasn't a problem because I wasn't dependent on it for light, and I didn't need to drop it to pick up other objects. If I picked up an object, it would go into my inventory. On top of that, even though the patrolling enemies weren't scary, there were enough scripted scares to make up for it, and enough dynamic scares in the form of the Weeaboo Box alerting me to a threat, or even to a non-threat, even to a false alarm, or to something that I knew I had just missed. And in that way, the Weeaboo Box was a unique gameplay element. Here, I was totally dependent on it for light and pitch black, but even when I had it, it didn't really do that much for me. Even when I was trying to use the Weeaboo Box for that little bit of extra light, it just didn't do enough to make it worth it. And in the end, whenever it broke, I would just drop it and continue forward, seemingly without consequence. That screen on the back did basically nothing for me, and I didn't even want to try to use it because it was such a hassle trying to maneuver the Weeaboo Box so that I could actually see through it. It never seemed to actually alert me to the patrolling enemies, so it wasn't really much good for that either. And like I said, the sooner I dropped it and put it on the ground, the happier I was for it, and the more easily I was able to finish the map. But anyway, that was GM Hyde. I'm gonna go try its sequel, GM Hyde Assembly, and see if it's any better. If you like this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more creepy and comfy content. And as always, I will see you in the next one.